Yo, what's up? Back again. Another duel. Oh my days, bro. I had this up just now. 11.5 patch. Back another patch notes. Gonna do quick little rundown on quite a few gods are unbanned now. Quite a few gods are back banned. So yeah, gonna do a little tier list. It's kind of similar to the first tier list I ever did, but I've played a little bit more this season. And do at least anyway so far. So maybe my knowledge a little bit better. I don't know. These are the gods who are auto banned. It's not that many really. Some all basically the top tier gods, all the OP stuff, Ula, Skadi, Poseidon, Bakasura, on her moves on carb. The others, not so much. I mean, Hui is as well. Everyone else is good. They are probably worth bans, but so it is what it is, ain't it? So yeah, let's jump straight into it with the Agony. Just I'd put him A plus. Good god. Again, win games. Does a lot of damage, got a lot of poke, got a lot of control with his stuns, and he's very mobile with a dash, can be predictable, and if you're a warrior or an assassin, you can just kill him, and Hunt does probably at the minute. Hunt does honestly at this split are super good. I feel like when they get kin size online, you just can't survive their damage. And Xe on kins, and they just shred through you. Artemis, I'd probably put her A plus. Euclia's better now. She can get the shard, the golden shard, which is what she really struggled with because she used to have no pressure, because she would just get cleared by everyone because her clear was so shit. And her 3 doesn't even clear the archers. So yeah, her early game used to really suffer. She's always been a menace late game, and the builds all suit her, especially with the silver branch with the 2 and all the attack speed items. But as I said, she used to struggle early game and you'd fall so far behind that you couldn't keep up. Now she is better. You can play a little bit safer early game, get a few items online, and then you start wrecking. Also, this isn't in alphabetical order, so just to mix it up a little bit. Just so I don't have to talk about like A to Z every single time, you know what I mean? If it's like I'm copying and pasting, makes my brain work a little bit harder. Hell, I'd put a B plus. I've added a few categories in as well. Just because I think some gods are like in between us. So SS obviously been the best gods, ban worthy, probably a little borderline OP. S plus again borderline OP. S the very best. A plus slightly better on average. A is average. B plus is just below average but can win games depending on counter picks and stuff. B probably wouldn't play, and C definitely wouldn't play. Avoid if you can, unless you're an expert at them, I guess. But yeah, anyway, Hell B plus. She's good, does a lot of damage. 1 and 3 does hit really hard, and you have a load of poke with the 1. Bro, this hand summers, that's gotta go. Yeah, with the 1, there's a lot of poke. The healing on her 1's good too. However, in her healing stance, her 3 is not very good. The cleanse is handy. Her 2 is good in the damage stance. She is good, but anti-heal's so good in the game right now, it makes it super tough to be able to get away with playing Hell. There's too much pressure on you. There's too many anti-heal items. People are too tanky. It just makes the game super difficult. You can't really beat Hunters, especially now in Venom decks. He's good. So yeah, B plus. You can win games. Isn't necessarily a counter matchup. It just depends how good you are after how many abilities you hit. You know, if you pick and choose your fights well, if you get a bit ahead in certain fights, that type of thing. Odin, B. I mean, what do you say about Odin? He has his 3 is good. It's good stun. It can do the auto damage. It gives him a good attack speed. Sarah too. The ult's good to lock him in the cage if they don't have an escape. Granted, everyone's basically getting shell in duel, and then they'll upgrade to Phantom Shell, so it can make his cage a bit useless. He does a lot of damage early game. The shield is good. So again, he can win games, but not the best. Ra, probably on par with Odin. No, nothing to be shouted about. If you're good at Ra, you can win games, but he's actually a pretty hard god, and especially hard to play in duel. Sobek, C, your pluck's useless. I mean, the rest of your kit's okay, but the pluck is just useless in duel, unless they're standing on tower line, you can pluck them in the tower, but how often does that happen? Basically an escapable game, so yeah, useless. Wukong, probably put A plus, borderline S, probably one of the best gods in duel. Nah, he isn't the best god in duel, but he's a good god. Loads of poke, build suit him well, does a lot of damage, get out a free jail card with the ult. and the healing and the health. Tiger Stun's good, the knock-up's good. And as I said, he does a lot of damage. You can get straight edge on him, Heartseeker. At that point in the game, you hit so hard. I'm half 2 down, so yeah. Ymir B, auto attack Ymir works. That's it. Especially in certain gods. In a hunter, though, you're just losing. And against most mages. Zeus, probably A. Auto attack Zeus works. Lifesteal Zeus works. Damage Zeus works. Again, it just depends who you're into. He can win games, though. He's actually a good god. Especially with the auto attack build. I liked him with the Bancrofts. Into the auto attack. The Typhons. And the Telekines. And then just full attack speed. He actually swings. Guan, B+. Nah, he's probably B. On par with Odin and Ra. He can, as I said, he does a lot of damage. He just struggles really hard without his 3 and 2 up. And it's interrupted. And his horse is easy to run away from. So. Cupid, A+. Hunter, which makes him A+ automatically. He actually counters quite a lot of people as well in terms of, I mean, not so much anymore. You'd counter like Ula, Skadi, he was good into, he was good into Hui, he's good into Kern, but they're all auto-banned now. He's good in Hades, but now they're all auto-banned. He's still good. As I said, he's a hunter. He's got healing, so he's got a lot of sustain. The stun on his heart bomb's nice. Nothing broken, nothing special, but he has good pressure and he's balanced, I'd say, to be honest. Maybe slightly above balance, just because he's a hunter. So, A. I mean, maybe even B+. Yeah, probably B+. Super hard to win games on him. In terms of, he's kind of like a one-trick pony a bit. And without your ult, you struggle. I mean, you have to be hitting all your double taps. I mean, it's just, yeah, you can do a shitload of damage early game. But as soon as people start building protections, he like struggles because you have to use your 1 to initiate if without your ult, and then you also have to use your 1 to escape. So you're better off just poking. But if you try poke sometimes, and they have an initiation, they have like a leap or something, you just get caught out so easily. Ares, where would I put Ares? Yeah, probably on par with Sobek. Don't really play him. I mean, his chains and fire does a lot, but he has no pressure early game, and his ult's kind of useless. Bacchus, B. Does a lot of damage, a lot of control with the stun, and then the flop. His ult does a lot of damage too. Probably one of the best Guardians in Duel, but nothing special. Just a Guardian. That's the issue. The issue is he's a Guardian. What can you do? As I said, he can win against certain people, and if he gets a lead, but into Hunters, he just gets bodied. Expo, Hunter, so A+. He does a load of damage because of the passive. Super mobile with his 3. And the 3 on the CC immune. The CC immunity on his 3 is very strong. And if used correctly, can be very effective. And also the auto attack range on his ult is good. The blackout on the ult is good. Yeah. Just a solid all-round good god. Nothing special, but said Hunter, so good. Herc A. A lot of damage. Honestly, he gets super tanky and he hits so hard. His 2 and 1 hit combo is so hard, but it's really hard to hit them 2 abilities just because it's so predictable. You know exactly what Herc's trying to do every single time he walks you. So it's super easy to avoid it. He has to get creative, but once he's late game, if you're against like another... If you're against a mage especially, Herc smashes. He just loses the Hunters, really. Vulcan A as well. A lot of poke. His turrets are super annoying. But similar to Herc, you know he's looking for knock-ups. You know he's looking for 1s. And if they don't have amazing turret placement and good ults, their ults are super hard hit. But if you don't have good turret placement, good 3-1s, and you're not consistent at hitting them, he almost becomes useless. So you're probably better off playing someone else who's got easier abilities to hit. Neath, again, on par with the others. Hunter, good. Yeah, I might be biased here also, because maybe these Hunters I'm overrating because I'm a Hunter player. I'm an ADC main, so I think they're good. But that, like a Neath, say for example, I think she's good just because one of my favorite Hunters is Neath, and I'm not bad at it, so I could probably win most matchups as Neath. give or take, obviously. There's some which are impossible, like set, but I mean, you can definitely win most matchups as Neath, especially into other hunters and stuff. So I might be a bit biased saying Neath's A+. I'd honestly say Neath borderline S, but maybe she isn't, you know? Maybe it's just my bias. I definitely rate Neath, though. Awesome god. Her 2 stealing the other person's attack speed is so good. In duel, you can go ability based, you can go attack speed based. It doesn't really matter. She's still good because you're not really looking for one shot ability combo with your alt 1 anyway. In duel, you're trying to do sustained damage more. So going to more of attack speed or like a hybrid type build is more beneficial for you. But yeah, I rate Neath. I think she's a really good god. But as I said, obviously I'd put her S. Fuck it, I'm doing it. I think she's S. Afro, just a worse version than Ron. Hell, borderline Airy so bad, to be honest. Her alt's fucking... I mean, her alt's good, but her 1's useless. The 3-2 combo doesn't do enough damage to really kill anyone. Anti-heal's too good. She just loses. Apollo, better than Artemis, I'd say. Nah, I'd probably say on par with them. Especially on par with the other hunters. As I said, his passive's good, especially into the attack speed build. He does shred, and he has a lot of self-peelers too, and the knock-up on his dash. But nothing super special. His alt's kind of useless. Just a worse stringway passive in duel, so... Yeah. Nisha, I'll put Nisha S. Honestly, if she gets a lead on you, it's so hard to deal with. She's ulting you constantly with full CDR, especially if you're a Fizz. Say you're Neath, for example, or Cupid. Maybe not Cupid, but Neath especially, or Xbalanque. She just sash outs you on cooldown. Like, you're just dying. Like, she does so much damage. And the crits on her too, the heal on her too. She has crit by default. So yeah, just super hard to deal with. Don't get me wrong, she falls behind, she's almost useless. But if she does get a lead, she can start pushing that lead so aggressively, and it's tough to deal with. Nemesis S+. If you pick Nemesis into someone who can't interrupt your 3, you're invincible once you've used your 3, basically. You go a full attack speed build on her, and some anti-attack speed, like a horrific against a hunter. You just destroy them. You beat basically all the hunters, all the mages, in a straight up 1v1. The only problem is when Naomi early game does suffer, you can now clear her and steal her buffs and pressure her. But if she gets through that phase and into the mid late game, she just wins. Fenrir, I'd put him A+. He's really good into mages. He struggles into hunters, but he is good into mages. He's good into warriors. His 2 is such an underrated ability. The lifesteal is dope. He can go with attack speed build. He can go power pen build. Yeah, he's super strong. A lot of movement with his 3 and his 1. The alt's not the best in duel, but it does the job early game to pull him in the tower and stuff. So it can give you good early game leads. E-set I mean, a lot of early game pressure, does a shitload of damage when you don't expect it. The alt's really good for the protections and healing it gives you, and the shield in your 3 is dope, and the silence. As I said, can definitely win matchups. She's good into mages, but she's also good into warriors, because she has a lot of self-peel. Athena, just a worse version than just awful in duel. Doesn't do anything, or else useless. Literally can't use it, so what's the point? Useless god, not worth talking about. Kronos SS, probably one of the best dual gods, which isn't banned right now. Loads of poke, loads of damage. Ult gives you full health again, if you use it well. The steroid on his 2 is crazy in duel. Build full magical damage, essentially, with maybe the lifesteal, or maybe the attack speed bankrupt, you know, like over 2 attack speed with your 2. So, don't even need to discuss that any further. Chang'e A+. She can stay out of base so long. The worst part is she struggles pushing leads because her tower clear is so bad. She struggles to get towers and phoenixes without getting kills, and she doesn't really do enough damage to get kills because you're building defense against her. So she is good. And she has a lot of sustain with the 3, and the ult does a lot of damage and control, and she has a lot of poke as well, and the 2 immunities dope. And she can send the minions back. How many times did it sand? But she can send the rabbit back to base for it, so she can stay out long. But just struggles to push wins, to be honest, and does struggle early game too. Tia, A, kind of similar to Hercules. Fearless is super easy to predict, but it does have a lot of sustain with his 2, the knock up on his defense stance 1 as well, and the stun on his ult. makes him super good, and the out damage in his power stance is crazy. But again, loses to hunters, loses certain mages and assassins. So Jonqui, kind of similar to Zeus, build attack speed on him, win the game against certain people. He's kind of more like troll picks, kind of do a lot of damage with the full attack speed. Jonqui a bit more than Zeus because of the 2 auto attacks he has. And he has a bit more control. He's got stun. His ult makes him like knock up immune. So yeah, he has a little bit more. He's a bit safer really than Zeus, but similar category. Thanatos, kind of similar to the other two, where he's kind of a one-trick pony and you know what's coming. You know he's trying to death scythe you on cooldown. He's good. He can push leads really well, and if he gets an early game lead, he is hard to deal with. He does so much damage, but it's tough to get that early game lead. Mercury, a bit better than Thanatos because he has more poke with his 1, and his ult's better because you can use it from behind tower, but still not great. You're just going attack speed on him because crit's not really good in duel. Does force you in spectral, I guess, but it's not really good. So you're gonna go attack speed type build. He can do a lot of damage. He's got a lot of mobility, a lot of control with his 3. He's not bad. He can definitely win games, but he's not amazing. Bat, same story. Ult's dope. Does a lot of damage. His passive sick with a 3. Works perfect for Hi Rez, but yeah, he's good. Just balanced. Good as a counter pick, really. Or if you enjoy playing Humbats. I mean, struggles like Mercury and Thanatos against Hunters, and the gods above him, though. Newer, similar to Zonqui and Zeus. Probably a little bit slightly better just because she has a stun, the root, and her ult. Gets her out of jail free, kind of. And it's free damage in the ult. And then she's really good into warriors and assassins who are trying to dive her, because it just means she gets a free minion stun every time. So that does make her good into them, but she struggles really bad into hunters and people who can hit her for more, because she doesn't have the best range really. So she kind of has to get pretty close to actually hit stuff, and the hunter would just shred you before you even get that opportunity. Jack, I'd put Jack A+. The attack speed slow on his 3 and the normal slow is really good. Does a lot of damage, got a lot of poke, lots of sting. The ult's good, the knock up on it's good. When you go get some items online, he's got a really strong early game, and then when you get items online, he scales pretty well into the late game, especially with like kind of an attack speed build. Get blink, auto attack them, they dash away, you 1-2, chase after them, you 3 on them. You know, you got good chase down, good damage. Geb, actually underrated, low-key really good god. Does a shitload of damage. The knockup's good. Ult, the stun is good, and the passive on the ult was it like 50, it's not 50% anymore, but it's like 40% damage or something. 40% of their god's health. There's a lot of damage. Scylla, A+. Once you get past the early game, she wrecks. Just needs to get a few items online. She has so much poke with the 1-2 and the ult. It just one-shots people. It's always going to be good. Just gotta get to that early game. Cumber, awful. His 3 takes far too long to go off. His 2 takes too long to go off. His only good abilities really are his 1 on ult. And if you're against anyone with a brain, or anyone, just period, who's a hunter, or any of the warriors / assassins, you lose. You only really beat mages, to be honest, as Cumber. And even then, not really. Janus, I'd put Janus B. Nah, I'd put him A. A lot of mobility, can go through the walls. His 2 does a shitload of damage. The slow on his 3 is good. His ult damage is good. His escape is just the best. Though. You just play the game near walls, basically, and you can just kind of escape. Sorry, I had to swing away. Swing. Sorry, I had to swig of my can. Rama, slightly. Nah, but Rama as S. Is 1. Honestly, he's so underrated. The clear on his with his 1, and then his ability to box people with the 2 and the 1 combo is crazy. It's so good. It's so easy with the auto attacks with the 1, and it does a surprising amount of damage. His ult's also really good as well. Surprising. Again, it's just like an execute when they're low, to be honest. Or you can. It's good like to avoid abilities and stuff. When Rama's played well, he's super hard to deal with. So Ket, early game appalling. Mid game better, late game disgustingly strong. destroys everyone late game. Just need to get her. When she full build now, though, she slaps. Cabrakan, similar to Bacchus, a lot of burst, but kind of a one-trick pony and struggles to win games. Sylvanas, B+, kind of similar to these mages, Zeus, Nuar, and Zonqui. Just go full auto attack on him, and is 1-2 combo, and then healing, and then you just auto attack people, kind of like a Guardian ADC. Nox, B+ as well. I'm a bit biased for Nox. I actually really enjoy her. If you can hit 2-1 combos and you're against somebody who dives you, so it makes it easy to hit the 2-1, really strong. The dash does a surprising amount of damage, and the ult's good for you start the fight with an ult and then hit your 2-1 on them. And you hit the 2-1 twice and you kill them basically, especially when you get some items online. So it can be really strong, but struggles against dive compositions as well. You know, so even though she's good into people who dive her, like Mercury, say, or Humbats, or who else? Even Fenrir, she's good into. She struggles into hunters, and then she also struggles into people like Wukong, who can poke her and ult her too, say, and then she's kind of dead without a 2-1. So, Kukulkan, one of the better mage duo characters. Awesome wave clear, really good defense on tower and Phoenix. The 3-1 when you full CDR feels like it's always up. You just have so much poke. The 2 is underrated ability, the movement speed. Makes him super hard to hit. So yeah, can be really good. Elix B, probably better on Soul. Probably better on all these, actually. She can do a lot of damage, just struggles early game of wave clear, to be honest. Out of man though. If there's no wave there, and you hit a knock up out combo, or they have a leap, like say against Fenrir, say, and you pull the leap or Saket, and you pull the leap. I'm not putting Saket that high. Put her and you pull the leap, then yeah, really good, but it's kind of her out otherwise is just an attack speed steroid, you know. And it's a good, don't get me wrong, it's a good steroid, but I don't know if she's worth like actually playing, you know. I wouldn't recommend it. Blow on RS plus. Probably one of the only characters that can beat everyone below her. She's like an all-round solid pick. Doesn't really have any counter matchups. Good into hunters because of the block stacks and her disarm. To be honest, she could even be borderline SS to the minute with the people who are banned automatically. Probably one of the best gods in duo right now. As I said, everyone who's good basically auto attacks. And she just out trades everyone with the block stacks on her 3. And the only way you win is if she gets behind, really. She falls really far behind, she does struggle, but when she's ahead, she bullies everything so much. Medusa, S+ as well. Her 1 damage is crazy, the 2 damage is good, the splash anti-heal is good. Her dash is her weakest ability, but I mean, no one's body blocking that really in duel, so makes it kind of it negates the fact you can't really escape from it. Also, her passive just being able to move as freely as she can with the no movement speed penalties, or lesser movement speed penalties when backpedaling or side strafing. Yeah, it just makes it super tough to deal with. Like, it's hard to trade as a hunter. It's super hard to hit ults on her. And she does a shitload of damage, and the build suits her. Upwash, B, again, a lot of poke. Slightly better Nox, probably. Yeah, a lot of poke. The anti-heal's good with a stun, but he's super easy to dive and kill. Ratosca, B, no builds really suit him. Can't really fight in 1v1s, just a bit meh. Raven, I'd probably put A+. Not as good now, he's received nerfs and shields are not as good, but he's still got a lot of healing, a lot of pressure, a lot of poke with his 1-3. The 2 makes him immune, like Changa's 2. The ult's good chase, and he gets super, again, another god who's super hard to deal with once he gets ahead. Kepri, useless, don't play him. Honestly, you just kill yourself every time you hit a pull. Xingten, one of the better guardians, kind of like Bacchus, Cabrakan. A lot of damage. The knockup's good. The ult's quite good. Sol, need to put her in Vanguards. I'd probably put Sol top of A+, borderline S. Probably put her S. Go full lifesteal building her. So Bancrofts, Telekines, Typhon's Fang. So much lifesteal. Spear of Magus, or Magus, however you want to say it. So much lifesteal and sustain. Can get a lot of kills on her. Got so good tower push. And when she's full heat, honestly, she's impossible to trade with. And if she times her 3 well, she can immune so much. And her ult CC immunity is dope with a knock-up. Chiron, S as well. Probably S plus, I'd say. Not as good as Kronos, but he's definitely up there. As I said in my Chiron video I've done, his 2 is a cheat code. Just hit an auto attack 2, slow 1, literally half health the other person. Every single you can do that just constantly every time you 2's up. Hit an auto attack 2, and they're like quarter health gone instantly. And then you just auto attack them down. If you've got an auto attack build, if you're ability based build, you just fucking hit an auto and 2, and then he's dead. Like, it's insane. His ult's like an execute too. His passive healing's underrated, and the knockback in his 3 is super underrated too. Probably one of the best dual gods. He's a bit noob friendly though, isn't he? So Amaterasu S plus. As I spoke about in other tier lists, healing and damage stance in her 1 is crazy. The silence is good. Auto attack builds are good on her. The LTC immunity and the stun's good. A lot of chase down potential. She does struggle early game though with mana, and she does struggle if she falls behind. Raijin, kind of similar to these. Full cooldown is a menace, but he can't get stomped early game. Jungwei S forces people to build Spectral even though she's not going crit. Her passive just means she can get back to lane constantly. So even if you poke her out, she can just fly back to lane and is full health for buffs. But she does struggle a bit early game with wave clear. Not so much any more golden shards in the game, but she still does struggle a bit. Susano, probably most underrated dual gods. I'd put him A plus. So much damage and control. His mobility is crazy. He's just a difficult god to play, but if you're really good at Susano, he's so strong. The knockup's awesome on him, on his ult. The teleport on his 3, if used correctly, is really good. The pull, the damage on his 1, and he's super hard to hit. Can be a bit predictable, but yeah, I'd put Fafnir A. Balanced. Really does a lot of damage. Surprisingly good, to be honest, when I played him. The dragon stance, when he does ult and changes into dragon stance, you can't fight them. Terra. Probably one of the better CE gods, but I mean, don't play her really. She's okay. Nothing special. Is an army S. So much wave clear. Yeah, so much wave clear. So much early game pressure. The slow in her 2's dope. Dash is good. Goes over walls so she can be super safe. The ult, it just hits so hard. As I said, basically an execute. But you're playing as an army just for the early game pressure. You basically out pressure everyone. Out wave clear everyone. And then you just stomp. Just push the lead. And just keep stomping, to be honest. Zots. S. Again, a lot of healing. A lot of poke. His ult just destroys everyone who tries killing him. Again, he can escape with the ult or get kills with it. And a really good Camzos player who hits all her abilities is insane. Thoth, awful. Honestly, same as Ra, really. With a little bit more mobility, but he may as well not because it's so easy to force his dash and it's so easy to chase him down when he has it. Nike. A. Balanced, a lot of damage. If you goes damage and pretty tanky, and the ult's really good. But yeah, just balanced. Nothing special. Morrigan, A+. If you're good at every god in the game, especially the stronger gods, you pick Morrigan. You play as the Morrigan, and then you just turn into them and kill them when you can. You poke them out with your 2. You just keep poking them, and then change into them and fight them when they commit to fighting you or whatever. So yeah, works out well. Can be really strong, but it requires you to be tidy at Morrigan first of all, and then second of all, know when to ult into the other person, know how to play the other person's god. So yeah, that's the tough part really. Zembo A, one of the best guardians, or one of the better guardians. His 1's crazy. The damage it can do. How often you have your 1-3 ult up is crazy as well. So yeah, really good. Ganesh, useless. Daji, same as Socket. It literally copy and paste in terms of how you play it. Awful early game. Awful. Slightly better mid game. Late game destroys everyone. Kakullan B. Similar to Herc tier, just slightly worse in my opinion. He can beat mages, but he struggles into all the hunters and everyone like above him really. He's not bad into assassins either, but yeah, he struggles super, super hard into hunters. Arteo, B, not too bad. A lot of control, a lot of abilities, but just doesn't do enough damage really. Hachiman, S. He's a hunter. Suit can play safe, can play aggressive, can do loads of damage, build suit him, whatever you want to build. Yeah, he's a perfect balanced hunter, and slightly better than balanced, but he's a perfect hunter in terms of being able to play safe, being able to play aggro. He's just super strong god. Discordia, A. I mean, I was doing this in specific order, but this is in no specific order. They're just in the bracket, you know? Because I want to say it, just because I just put the Discordia in a slap bang middle of A. She's good, but like, she loses to, say, Kakalkan, so that makes sense. He's above her. But like, she can also lose to Kazembo, depending on the player, depending on how good the other player is, depending on how the game goes and how it pans out, and who pokes who makes the bad decisions. You know what I mean? So it's very matchup dependent. Cerberus, he's too difficult. If you can hit all his abilities, he is really strong, but he's just too difficult to play well. Achilles, slightly above average, probably put him A+. A lot of mobility, a lot of damage, good sustain. Builds suit him quite well. So, yeah, I'd say A+. Chernobog, I'd put S. Yeah. His ult is awesome. It's a better Apollo ult, basically. And the steroid you get from it is sick. Go into walls to avoid a shitload of damage with a good Chernobog, and the 2 steroids crazy. Pele, probably the only other god maybe who could compete with Kronos. I'd probably put her as SS because she beats Bellona. She beats Nemesis with a knock up on her. Yeah, she just has so much ability damage, so much burst damage, so much movement speed. Yeah, she's just one of the best gods in Duel right now. King Arthur, just A. He's okay. Can win games. A lot of abilities you don't know what King Arthur does. Not as good as he is in Conquest, but he's still good. Merlin, if you get to mid to late game on him, he's dope. He just struggles early game. Jome, A. One of the better Guardians. His out's good. And the other one is good. Gives him a lot of poke. But yeah, he's not amazing. Horus, awful. Out useless. And the heal, the dash is useless. You're just using to minions. Set, SS. The only person, probably the best dual god right now, to be honest. Him and Kronos. These 3 are definitely the best. And they can all interchange wins with each other. But Set, when played well, and if you know how to play Set, it's crazy. Oleron, slightly under. Probably put him top of S+. Can beat most people below him. But then does struggle into Camzots. He struggles into Hunters. Again, it kind of depends how the game pans out, who's the better player, what type of lead either person has. Oleron's early game is super underrated. His wave clear is nuts with his 2. And now they buffed him and give him more damage on his 1 and more powerful crits. Yeah, he's definitely one of the best dual gods. But he does lose to Kronos, and he loses to Set and Pele. Because Set can just avoid his ult, play like a mage, keep poking him, and just commit once Oleron's ult's down. And Pele basically does the same thing. Persephone, A, if you're good at her, give her a go. Her ult's a bit too easy to predict, though, and if you're not good at her like me, yeah, the flowers and stuff is just useless. Yamoja, really hard to play. So if you're not that good at her, it's really tough. But she's okay. Heim, S+. Honestly, probably one of the best hunters again, just because of the knock up on his 2, how safe he is with a teleport, and how aggressive he can play with it. Forces you to go beads for his ult. And if you can also use his ult to get away as well, and the poke he has in his 1 is crazy, so yeah. Mulan, A. Once she gets her evolved ability, she is good and does a lot of damage, but she just gets out pressured by hunters. Barber, A. Balanced, or poke. Her ult's good. But again, struggles against hunters and other mages, like attack speed mages. Cthulhu, A. I'd say Cthulhu's the best guardian in Duel. Yeah. Loads of damage. The fear's underrated. Super mobile. Can play like a mage. Poke the root. Yeah. Tsukiyomi SS. On par with these gods. So much poke. The 3-1 just provides him so much poke ability. So much control. If anyone tries, you can keep poking them all game. If they try committing you, can 2 Go back to range, keep poking them. When they're low, commit with your ult and kill them. Dancer, I don't see Dancer enough. S plus is 2's. He's super good into assassins and people who dive him because of his 2. The rocket does a load of damage, means you can play super aggressive, and the 3 protections it gives you is really good and makes you really strong to fight. My dog's staring at me, that's why I look down. I don't know what she's doing. She's just sitting there staring at me. Give her a smooth on the head. They're afro. Tiamat. B+. Get to late game on her, she's good. Early game, she's garbage. Gilgamesh, A+. A lot of auto-attack damage, a lot of control. Just loses the hunters. Charybdis or Charybdis, I'd put S. Especially now with the buffs. Her 3, she's always been one of the most underrated hunters in my opinion. Her ult isn't very good, or at least it's not the best. But her 3 makes up for it. It's just so good. The beta abilities out, it's just a better Sol 3 in it. So good. The knock up on it's awesome. And she's a hunter. Her attack speed's sick. When you get attack speed on her, sorry, her auto attack chain works well. Her 1 hits so hard, and the poke with the 2 is super good and the slow. Cleo A+, if you know how to play her well, she can be really strong. But if you don't know how to play her well, you can struggle a lot on her. Her ult is really hard to hit, and if you don't maximize going in and out of the wall, she is hard to play. Atlas, just C, he's okay. Shiva, B, again, he's okay. Go attack speed on him, he's okay. And like Burst, but I don't really know how to play him, I don't like him, so B. Yuhang, B, one of the worst mages, kind of like Thoth and Ra. A lot of poke, but yeah, it's super hard to actually win games on him. Ishtar, A, she's a A+, sorry, she's a hunter. The only reason I put her A+ and not S is because of her dash getting blocked. And I know I put Medusa above her, but Medusa just does more burst damage. Where Ishtar is so much more reliant on her auto attacks. If you're a good Ishtar though, she is definitely strong. And if you use your 1 effectively, so using it at max range to poke with your long range autos and then shotgun when they're up close with the spray, she can outtrade loads of people, and basically everyone, but she can lose games. She struggles really hard into people like Nisha, who can just sash her, close the distance and ult her if she doesn't have ult and stuff like that. Maui, awful. Don't bother playing it. Surta, A+, kind of similar to Chak, but his ult's better because it spawns all the minions, and into hunters, you can just fucking stun the hunter, chase him down with the ult, summon loads of minions, they're auto-attacking the minions rather than you, that type of thing. Also, the 1 actually hits so hard, and the 3 chase down's crazy. Marty, one of the worst dual hunters. I wouldn't recommend playing him. It's because he's ability based, and if you go and attack speed build his abilities, like his 1 and his ult do no damage. So you have to go ability based, and it's not that good in duel. Ixchel, B. Nah, yeah, I just put him B. Similar to Thoth and Ra, to be honest. Karen, B+. He's not terrible, but he's not amazing. Got a lot of poke, you can play him like a mage. But yeah, not amazing. Marman, S+. If you're not playing Marman, you're good at her. Definitely super strong. But she can get shut out fairly easily. Out pressured early game if you don't know, if the Marman doesn't know what they're doing. And last but not least back, Kaiju, put him in B. He was kind of a gimmick at the start. People building loads of protections on him and getting the attack speed, but I feel like that's kind of washed now and people understand that it's actually not that good. So yeah, that's the tier list. If anyone wants more explanations on any of the gods and demonstrations and gameplay or guides, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe. Appreciate it. Also, I would like to go into more detail, but this is already 38 minutes, so I can't. Sorry.